Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about the power of media. That's why we're honored to have with us Marie Pizano. She is the president and founder of MVP3 Foundation, and she's also the CEO of MVP3 Records, MVP3 Network, and MVP3 Media Group. We have a lot of media to talk about. Marie, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me back.
Well, you do so much good on so many different fronts. And let's start with the foundation and we'll kind of work our way through. But give us a little bit of background on what led you to launch the MVP3 Foundation.
Well, we actually had, we registered in 2012, but we just reinstated it in 2023. And it's all about film, music, community. We aim to heal community through the arts.
And when you look at the arts and the power of it, especially with youth, you've launched a whole new program and partnership. So you have a partnership with Shelby County Schools, and you're also launching a student TV and film program with Westwood High School. So what led you to launch that?
Well, I was actually speaking to the students at Westwood, thankfully, because of Junior Achievement, Volunteer Memphis. I went to speak to the students and the teacher there. I don't know what it was, just one of those days that whatever I said that day gave some students some hope, and the teacher reached back out to me and we started talking, and it was needed. These kids really wanted to do something with film and TV. Well, I kind of already had a program put together, and so I rolled it out with them. And shout out to our Shelby County commissioners for giving us a grant to apply towards this, to kick this off. And it's more film and TV. A lot of the high schools here in Shelby County, they have, the television part. They teach, in-house, and they do their own video content like Germantown and Houston and Collierville. But there's also a need for some of the cities throughout Memphis, and so with this program, like right now, we have this pilot program right now, and one of the students, she's been working with me, such a talent. She graduated, and now, she paid internship with me. We're going to help give her a scholarship towards a film school, and then hopefully she'll continue and work with me as a career.
When you look at carrying that idea of internships and then scholarships and then working obviously with Westwood High School, you've got a 36-week program that you're looking to implement. So talk about what that entails and what that means for opportunities for the students.
Well, some of I have a team of instructors. There's 3 of us, me for producing and the business end, and then your daily, hands-on. So our curriculum will be more hands-on. We want to touch, base with the students, where are their interests? If we're going to teach them how to put a television show together, well, let's create that. Or if there's a film, it has to start somewhere with a storyboard and so on, but to give them that hands-on training, I think is very important, but also the business end to it, and there are life skills. And I was happy to hear today that one of the schools also incorporated life skills with that. And my thing with MVP3 all around is about integrity media. What we put out on MVP3 Network is what is good for our society. What can it, even though we have movies as well, pay-per-view, all of that, but teaching the youth the responsibility of media as well. So that's what we're going to, have for the students. Plus, all, my actor friends and, people coming in town, we're going to give them an opportunity to be able to see the real people that they possibly might be watching on movies.
Well, and I think it's important, like you say, the skills, the artistry, the creativity, but also the business side. And there is a whole nother element. It's one thing to be creative, but to bring it to life, you've got to understand the business, the finances, all of those pieces, telling a story, the art of telling a story. There's so much that goes into creating a successful film, TV show, whatever it is. You've got to have the experience and the opportunity to have those experiences, which is exactly what we're talking about. Carry that into the music side, because you have a lot of collaborations on the music side, including some that pull together Memphis and Nashville.
Well, we partnered with the Brooks Museum of Art, and we are starting our music series starting May 22nd, and once a month. I call it the six pack, because we have 3 singer-songwriter nights, 1 unplugged, a music forum, and then a family concert at the end. The music forum will have where we do have people that are in the industry discussing, the do's and don'ts and a little bit of the financial literacy part of it. But like people like Billy Falcon, who just dropped a song with John Bon Jovi called Legendary. And he's been writing with John for many, many years, over 70 songs. And people like that from Nashville that have already made it, whatever, but highlighting, bringing them here. Nashville meets Memphis. And then we are scheduling out where Memphis is going to be meeting Nashville. And then with our London partners, I didn't tell you about this, but where London meets Memphis and Memphis meets London. So we're going to help our emerging artists and those that work on our record label, to get out there and shake, rattle, and roll. Again.
Well, when you look at all of these connections and relationships that you have, being able to really use them and leverage them, obviously for the student benefit and the growth side on that, the opportunity, but also to celebrate and promote Memphis, which is huge. And so talk about some of the other things that you're doing creatively, one of which is working with Alpha Omega Veteran Services.
Yes. Well, with them, like on our foundation too, again, film, music, community, but, with healing community through the arts, we also have the culinary part, not only for film, production, we need food, but also the culinary part to it, like working with the women, the young adults, and the vets. Alpha Omega actually has their own farming. And when we place that, farm to fork, and help feed the needy. Culinary is an art. So, with doing that, we will have a food TV show, things like that, highlight our, chefs around here, and give back to help the vets as well.
When you look at pulling all of these opportunities together to celebrate Memphis, to provide opportunities, to build community and give back, talk about some of the ways the community can get involved and help, and also watch all of this play out.
Well, watch the MVP3 Network, but go to the website MVP3Foundation.org. We have some of our events up there, but we're going to start rolling a lot of this out. And like any foundation, we need donors, sponsors, all of that to come on board. Volunteers, we'd love to have some volunteers, especially when we roll out the farmers market that we're going to do starting June 29th. We had to push it back, but that will be at 88 South Front Street. Where we're showcasing artists and a little music, and you never know who's going to show up.
Talk about building community and building opportunities, because, when you look at engaging the students, internships, and the curriculum and the classes and the programs, you have to have real world examples and projects. And so you're able to leverage the projects that you're working on to turn them into learning experiences, to then get them involved more in the community and turn those into shows. So talk about this ecosystem that you're building through all of these different entities.
What I was kind of mentioning before is we have all these silos here, right? And if people got together, we'd actually build an industry. But we are, I mean, I just speak truth. We are a scene, and a lot of people in the industry who are well known have looked at Memphis and they realize that, and that's why I have to get my bigger friends to come here to kind of put this together, because when you're operating in the same thing, it's not working. But what we don't have is, we have to build that solid foundation, just like any business, anything we do. If we're going to really bring Memphis back, and I'm not here to reinvent the wheel, I'm just trying to help make it bigger, but you can't do that if we got to teach the industry, right? You got to teach students, you got to get them those skills. You got to put them into the jobs. We cannot keep complaining about tax incentives if we don't have a business, because what governor is going to give us or ask taxpayers to put more money in film incentives? We have to build that business. So when you have a company like me, and we're literally have a rollout plan from where it comes from book to screenplay to theater to foreign and domestic sales, there's a system there. And if you do a rollout like that and you do it consistently, that is what is going to show, here's how we put people into jobs, here's how we're going to use the restaurants, here's what's putting back into the city. We can't just say, hey, we have all this, but there's no organization. And a lot of people, like even David Z, who produced Purple Rain and all that, he lived here and he came out on the news and basically said the same thing. Memphis is boiling for something. I mean, we're sitting on a gold mine of talent. I feel like I'm in a candy store. I say it all the time. But there's no organization, So that's what I hope to provide, that core. Doesn't mean I'm the only, you know what I mean? But it means that I have the legal background, I have the financial, I have all of this, and I've been through everything that has to do with film and music and the do's and don'ts, legally. I mean, people don't teach, like even with any of these film fests or anything like that, it's great. But if you don't have bankable actors or an avenue to put that film into distribution to make money back, why is anyone going to invest? Where's the exposure as well? So that, hence the reason MVP3 Network, because we have pay-per-view and all that, and Netflix and Amazon Prime, they're not really taking indie films, especially if they're not bankable actors, or literally you put a film together, before it even can get anywhere, your legal aspect, all the releases, the insurance on it, people don't know what it really takes. We got so many making movies, but there's no business.
Yeah, and I think that to me is a really important piece of this equation, is your experience, but also when you talk about a template, just like you're saying, like you create a template that you can follow and replicate. And you've done this because you've got your book From Barefoot to Stilettos and turning it into a series and doing a lot more with it yourself. And so give a little bit of that background.
Like anything, you don't want other people to tell your story. I want to control my own narrative because it is my truth, my story, but most of all, my forgiveness. But it's a journey, just like anything in life. But what I hope to do is empower as well, not just women, but everyone. We got to get out of this disempowered mindset. And even with COVID and everything that's shut down, we're actually all rebuilding again. And just like From Barefoot to Stilettos, it means we all came out of here, naked and barefoot, right? And we all stumble and fall, but we all have the power to rise up and go find our yes each day. And speaking of which, 12 Steps to Finding Your Yes releases the end of this month. It's the workbook. It's a simple, workbook that, with everything that I've been through with this, people don't teach you, really in college, there's the legal aspect. Anybody could sue you. They get mad at you. Look at how the world is right now in a disempowered state of mind. And, you got to get back to finding that yes with mind, body, and soul, so you can take on the people, you could understand the psychology to it, to be able to navigate. And in this industry, everybody's crawling to get to the top. Everybody wants to be loved and liked. And, it is a very nasty business, but I want to get out of that, create a good business. And I don't care what Hollywood or anybody else is doing. I've watched way too much of this music industry and film industry. It's corrupt, lots of things. We're building it on truth and integrity. And that's what I hope for Memphis, that we take these stories, really do it the right way. And this is how everybody will win,
Yeah.
So.
And I love the fact, just like you said, on truth and integrity and doing it the right way, and also giving back to the community and making a difference. And so, once again, mentioned website, where do we go? MVP3 Foundation, where do we go to get involved? And then also, too, when you talk about the music and the network, talk about some of those other websites.
You could go MVP3MediaGroup.com, go to MVP3Network.com, and also MVP3Foundation.org.
Well, Marie Pizano, thank you for all you do to power the good, you and your amazing team. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.